Hello everyone and welcome through my playthrough of Crysis. I didn't record everything, but there's some clips that I wanted to share and hopefully you enjoy.
Over. Copy, 6-4. Nomad, intercept that cargo drop and grab yourself a Gauss rifle.
Copy, Major. Much appreciated.
I'm not proud of some of the things I do.
Recovering pattern provider support.
One thing that I enjoyed about Crysis is you didn't have to do the same part the same way, or different parts the same way, meaning you didn't always have to run and gun, or you didn't always have to sneak or whatever. I really enjoyed being able to avoid enemies completely because honestly the combat in a lot of cases became a little repetitive. It was fun, but it got a little repetitive, so I thought, well, let's see if there's any other ways to get past some enemies. So here I just cloaked and hid behind this rock. Luckily, they weren't smart enough to glance left here. They didn't see me, which is great. One thing they did is in the game is they made it so your energy meter decreased rapidly depending on how fast you were going while cloaked. So I only made it like, what, 20 yards, 30 yards there before I ran out. Now, right here, I decloaked and I considered actually engaging all these guys, but from what I've learned of the AI, the second I took my first shot, they'd all turn and converge on me and kill me pretty quick. So in this case, just cloak again and off we go up the mountain. Found myself doing this quite a bit at times, just because it was easier than fighting enemies in a lot of cases, and it kind of made for a different way to play. I ran into quite a few positions where I had to like do the same map over and over again, or the same section. So here I was going down after a save point to go down the stairs. Forgot that there's a guy I need to snipe. So then I look at the submachine gun, go, do I really want it or not? Pop that guy, throw the rifle away, and then rather than climb carefully down the stairs, kersplat. And then I said, you know what, I've done this section a bunch, so I'm going to go maximum speed and I'll jump right off the cliff. And I wish I could say this is the only time it happened, but no, it happened to be. So in this section, we were invading yet another camp that all looked mysteriously the same. You're supposed to go like turn on or turn off some button, which I just did.
Good job, Nomad.
And the only reason I saved this clip is despite I'm getting older a little bit, sometimes my twitch reflexes still work, and I was kind of proud of one of these, so thought I'd show it here. Standard fare, popping a few guys. I loved how I could shoot under the buildings and hit him, you know. But here this guy kind of sneaks up on me and I don't know, I liked it. I had died quite a few times in this location, so I thought I was going to try something a little bit different this time. Vaulted this wall and saw this enemy here. Grabbed him. I did grab a lot of enemies during this game, but this time I did. And thought, there's a handy dumpster, let's just go ahead and put him on in there. So I wanted to narrate this clip a little bit from what I saw. In Crysis, I'd find a lot of times that this top green map here wasn't that useful. Like, I don't know if I couldn't transpose the map to how I was really seeing, but no matter how many times I used it, it just wasn't too helpful for me. The other thing I thought was funny is I'd grab this boat and hijack it and run right down the middle of everyone, and no one seemed to care, which was great. You hijack this boat, and then there's a little waterfall that you pop off, which I don't know if that bridge is the same bridge you get falling off. I should go back and look, but it looks like it anyway. But I don't remember that boat underneath it. Maybe it's not. And then after this part, you've got a little bit of a helicopter battle. And naturally, I tried the minigun first, which I thought would have been pretty effective. But look at the damage meter on my boat here. He's just seeing with the minigun, I go from 0 to 67 in kind of one volley. And I think that was a rocket, which took me to 93. There I died. So 2 rockets and a few volleys. It's interesting, the minigun seemed to do a little bit more against me than the rockets did, but so you'll see this pattern a lot, especially in this clip I'm going to show you, is die, respawn, try something new, which is kind of what we all do when we're playing a game. Again, the people don't notice me just Shanghai noon their boat here, but this time I tried to stay to the right side of the waterfall and landed decently well, kind of did a little submarine action. My strategy this time, though, I was going to hop out of the boat and try to fight him with my rocket launcher, which seemed reasonable to me. At this point, I didn't know that the rocket was guided by that red dot. I thought it was dumbfire, so I tried to just like shoot off both my volleys right there, and I missed the second one. Third one missed right there. Get back in the boat. Boat's already at 75. And there I go again. It was interesting because I kept playing this part over and over again, trying different things, and no matter what, that minigun is just wicked, and it would shred through me every time. So, load again, here we are, and no one notices me still in the boat. So I don't know if anyone else does this when they readjust in their chair and kind of do one of these actions, exit and click. That's what that was right there. I think I found that the right side was a little bit gentler to come off, so I did that again. And ended up underground. I'm glad the boat kind of was buoyant enough, it popped me right back up. That's kind of nice. You'll notice I have to scroll through my weapons. I don't know if I never like bound the key to quick switch or whatever, but I'd be constantly scrolling through my mouse wheel, which I never fixed. Notice there's no animation of the actual weapon here. You can just see the reticle. And yeah. It's funny, there's a lot of visual glitches like that where you'd pull out a gun and the reticle would come up, but the actual animation of the weapon wouldn't show. So what are we up to? 4? 5 now? Not sure. But this one, it's funny because I tried the exact same thing. Like I tried to go off the waterfall the same way every time. And no matter how many times I did it the same way, every time was different. This time I caught my back prop, I guess, and kind of tumbled. And right here I'm so disoriented, I'm like, wait, which way's up? I think I landed kind of at an angle and the boat slid back into the water. I don't know what this thing right here is that's sticking up, if that was damage or whatever, but... So now you'll see me execute a beautiful 5,000 point turn, which takes longer than expected. I did like how they did the speed in knots instead of mile per hour. That's kind of a nice touch. So on this round I thought, you know what, I'm just going to run and hopefully something better down the river will help. There's the helicopter. Might as well shoot at it while I'm driving by. One rocket took me to 8% damage on the boat. That was not too bad. There's the minigun. The minigun just trashes it. So we're at 87. And I'm just running at this point. I didn't have any other ideas. Come to this weird dock. Rockets me to 91. And I actually got out of the boat pretty well. And then hit under the dock here. Kind of like moments in the game like this. There goes the boat. You got it. But I like moments in this where you're kind of hiding underneath something. It's kind of very cinematic where you're kind of trying to dodge the main baddie here. The old game of hide ranking around the dock, I suppose. It's funny that a few volleys will take the boat crazy damage, but my suit didn't take too much. Finally wised up and decided to use one of my abilities and cloaked, which finally, why didn't I think of that earlier? There's the old helicopter and one rocket. And here comes number 2. And the helicopter goes down. So this is kind of what I did here. You'll see it. There's a lot of places in this game where it took me a few attempts to actually get her done, but I finally did it. In this sequence, you see the adventure of throwing a stick. I don't know why I did it either. I love unintentional comedy. I sneaked up on this tank driver or turret driver, and when I zoomed in, he's there going, "No, no, don't do it." Sorry. Perhaps one of my biggest complaints with Crysis is the vehicles where they're scattered about and were kind of fun to drive and were a fun add-in, but they weren't really effective in terms of combat. I tried it quite a few times to get into a vehicle and see what I could do. I love when getting in a vehicle, like the gauges move and all that. It was a nice little touch for the time. And I love the bullet holes and the damage that the vehicle takes. That's fantastic visually. However, it made it very difficult to drive and actually fight in the vehicle. I don't know what I'm stuck in. Are they rice patties or something? But my driving skills obviously weren't up to snuff in this area. I think I would have been better served just doing this on foot instead of trying to run around with a Humvee type vehicle or UAZ or whatever it would be at the time. And here, that was kind of decent, ran over that dude, so that worked out for me. But when I tried to come up against a barricade, this happened every time. I'd go guns in, or go in, guns blazing, full speed, and I'd die repeatedly. So that does it for me for Crysis, so hope you enjoyed, and look forward to our next video.